This is a time when interest rates are very attractive for development or everything. This is a time when the technology of solar has just expanded so much. And Georgia is a state that is in the top 5 states in the nation, according to a study by Arizona University, that receive the power from the sun. My friends in Germany that I've been there and talked with them about it, they said they could have 50% of what Georgia has, that they would just be living on top of the world. So the perfect storm hit Georgia. We're the largest state east of the Mississippi River. We got plenty of land masses to do solar. This is just the first step of tomorrow for us.
Well, we're not even doing a solar promotion film or something, but the idea that there was this misinformation put out seemed shocking. That's what brought us
and of course, you know, sometimes you take a negative like that and it turns into be a positive for you. And you're helping make that happen, Sue.
And it is, and he's up for re-election next year, and he's one of the ones that they probably would like to actually defeat in the Republican primary, so we've got to make sure he's re-elected.
And what makes them want to defeat Bubba? What would...
Because he led the charge, and he actually watched out and advocated for the best interests of the ratepayer and utility customer instead of the big corporation. He knew this. He knew that up until this time this year, by this time you would have a lot of money in donations in your campaign account. And he does it now, so he knew the risk going in. He knew that it was an election year next year. He knew he would face controversy and attack, but he still stood his ground anyway.
Well, I've always taken the position that you are not going to get a return on anything unless you make an investment. And I've made investments in the private sector in my adult life, in businesses, and I've been successful in it. And I'm at a stage in life, fortunately for me, with good health, and I'm very independent. I don't have to have I don't have to have this job to put a biscuit on my plate in the morning.
That's a good way to put it.
So with that, you know, I can basically paddle my own canoe, and I try to read the tea leaves. I can promise you that. I'm not that stupid.
So you have an orange
I'm not that
tie,
stupid to do that. But so anyway, that's where we are today. And again, we just opened the door right now. It's amazing. It's amazing how much light is shining in now on solar in Georgia.
Yeah, I think but it's amazing the opposition of people putting out, saying competition's going to raise prices.
Okay.
We
have pretty much a commitment with the commission. We're not putting upward pressure on the ratepayer. Most of the things that are coming in now are coming under avoided costs, and so that's a big plus. That's a big plus.
What's interested me was the idea of just this argument itself, that, you know, sort of making it difficult for people to even rent solar panels, I thought was extraordinary.
Well, you know, there are laws that were passed by the General Assembly of Georgia. The Territorial Rights Act was passed in 1973. I was in the General Assembly when that act was passed. I voted for it. It's been good for Georgia. It's given us a good opportunity for generation territories. You don't have cross lines going everywhere, and which are cost effective.
Right.
And but even that, I think one of the arguments I made, Debbie, was that, you know, if you were going to have a gallbladder removed, would you want to have your gallbladder removed the same way it was done in 1974, or would you rather have it done the way they're doing it in 2013? I had my prostate removed over a year ago, and I had the robotic surgery. It was great. And the radical is not too good, and so technology has changed, and we have to move with change, you know. So you tweak things a little bit. It's always good.
And I think he's just getting started, the commission, probably just getting started with this and with solar. And they've become advocates for the people and the ratepayers now with this. I mean, the three stood strong. We appreciate what you've done.
That's our job.
Well, I mean, it may be your job, but there's a lot of elected officials, that's their job. And once they get in office, they forget who put them there. They would actually like receiving the lobbyist gifts and the attention, and they become very arrogant.
Debbie, if I'm not mistaken,
And you're not like that.
if the Hollywood Diner, you'd ask me a question, how did you do it?
Right,
And I remember my answer. I did it for my grandchildren.
right. That's why I'm doing it for mine. My grandson should be here, but I mean, that's what we're all doing this for. We're not radicals. We're not left-wing. We're not tree huggers. I mean, we're conservatives that care about our environment. We want to leave something good to our children and grandchildren so they will leave and we don't have to worry about them having ample energy supply or clean air or clean water. We want to leave them choice.
So many decisions that we make at the Georgia Public Service Commission, it'll take 4 to 5, 6 years to say, well, you know, that was the right decision or that wasn't the right decision.
Right.
And so you have to have fortitude to make some of those decisions because they may not be the most popular at the time. Like, for instance, I'll give you a good for instance. Georgia has been very aggressive in our pipe replacement program, the bare steel and the cast iron pipe for natural gas. And we lead the nation in that replacement. It's not like some states have done, they've kicked the can down the road, and one of these days, it's gonna bite them.
Right.
It's gonna happen. But our commission has been very positive and very aggressive in things of that nature. And the only thing, you know, I want Georgia to show up on this next publication as far as our position on solar. And I think that without question that we will.
Appreciate everything you've done.
Thank you, Debbie.